So today we're going to be talking about lighting, specifically how to light something on a budget, specifically with an affordable budget with lights you can take out in the middle of nowhere and are absolutely incredible. Let's get started.
We pretend like we've got enough on our own here. Root of my psyche, I've looked and looked, I can't be found. Someone told me don't regret nothing, never give up. This place is another home, but
Lume Cube specifically is what we're going to be talking about today. So we went out to Switzerland with some of the world's best athletes, and it was pitch darkness, and we wanted to see what we could pull off. This has 10 different brightnesses that I can control on the actual Lume Cube itself. It starts off at 150 lumens, and each time I click on this button right here, it increases those lumens by 150 for a max of 1500 lumens, which is a big deal for filmmakers. Now the right button, you click it, it turns on the Bluetooth function, and if you hold it for 5 seconds, then it becomes an optical sensor. It notices when a flash goes off, so this will also go off as a second flash. Our Switzerland video was entirely lit by Lume Cube, and some of the stuff was by the sun when it was daytime, obviously. In our case, we're filming in these waterfalls in Switzerland in these crazy canyons. We were lighting everything with these in the water, and we had no issues whatsoever. We personally have 6 different Lume Cube lights, and I can control each one individually with the Lume Cube app. For us, it's a big deal, especially when we're climbing out in the middle of nowhere and we're setting up all these lights all around the location. You don't want to keep on climbing up and down. We can control that with our phones. An awesome example of this is when we were filming our bungee jumping sequence in our Lume Cube Switzerland video. We had over 100 Lume Cube lights. We set a parameter around the lake, so if you're looking down, you can see all the lights down there. And you don't want to run out there and hit each one manually one by one because that's going to take all night. It took all night just to set that up. But we could have someone down close to it, fairly close to it because it is Bluetooth, but they could control about 50 of those lights within their range, all with their phone. So that saved us a ton of time of having to keep on going to each one of those lights. Even at 10% brightness, they're definitely still very bright. But once you start doing video, you want as much light as possible. So once we started like shooting more of the higher end stuff, we were having most of the stuff at 80% brightness. In regards to the time-lapse videos we captured in Easter Island, I wanted to make sure the Maori statues that you see popping up right now, I wanted to make sure that there was light on them. Now, at first, when I was using these Lume Cubes to light these up, I had it on full brightness. But what I soon found out is these were getting too hot and they turned themselves off after about 30 minutes. But when you're doing night time lapses, you need them to last for sometimes 2+ hours. So I realized that I would have these turned on at 50% and then they would last for the couple hours that I needed them. So a little trick of the trade, keep that in mind, especially when you're doing night time lapse photography or videography. When we were out in Switzerland, we realized a lot of times when we're lighting up like an entire cliffside. What we did is we hooked up this little rig and then we were hooking everything to a Go scope. So in this case right here, I would have him down there filming with a GoPro. I would be up at the top of the waterfall filming with the 1DX. He would be using this to get a second angle, but also he'd be using the athletes as the athlete was falling down. He'd be lighting up the athlete, and then that was kind of giving me my fall light. So when I was filming the guy up above, the subject was still lit and the mountain was still lit. And then with that being said, is I'd have other people take the other lights and then they would run up to different parts of the mountain or the cliff ledge, and they'd be essentially painting the mountain with light. It was definitely a team effort, especially when we had to light a lot of these waterfalls. And one of my actual favorite things I learned from that shoot specifically to make the water pop is right where they are flying down the bottom of the waterfall, we'd drop these lights at the bottom or the base of the waterfall, and it was only like 5 feet deep. So we dropped these at the bottom of the waterfall, and that would light up exactly the pool where they were falling. It dispersed the light, so it lit up not just the section they were landing, but a bunch of the water. And with the waterfall kind of rumbling and moving, it gave it a really cool effect that you guys can see right now. So for the skateboarding section we have on our Switzerland video, we kind of took over someone's second story house where they had a skate park, a half pipe built up there. They didn't have really any good lights up there, so we got a bunch of Lume Cube lights and we kind of decked out that whole area with Lume Cube lights, a lot of backlighting, and that's exactly what you see in the video, but that was all being used by Lume Cube. For Lume Cube, a big thing that they have been pushing is extreme sports at at nighttime. So they have people like Jamie O'Brien, one of the world's best surfers, surfing pipeline, and a lot of times seeing these on the surfboards, it almost makes the water look like it's on fire. So it gives it a really cool visual effect. But I'm gonna have a bunch of Lume Cube photos pop up right now to show you guys an example. This isn't our work, this is just work that we found online. It's really exciting seeing what people are creating with these lights. Lume Cube runs a bunch of contests on their website where they're always looking for really cool photos that people are creating, and these are all done with Lume Cube lights, an $80, $79.99 light that they're all pulling off. So it's just incredible to see what people are doing. They're not using these big fancy $1,000 lights, they're using these little teeny guys right here. My final thoughts on Lume Cube, I think they're a fantastic light. The people that run the company, they're really a bunch of good people. I spent that whole week with them in Switzerland. They're really passionate though about filmmakers telling their stories, especially people that don't have big budgets, and especially people like me that are out in the middle of nowhere and they need to light the location. So super thanks to Lume Cube for create an incredible product. Any information you guys want to know on Lume Cube, I'm gonna have links down below in the description. Make sure to check them out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Over and out.